What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So last week I did a playthrough video using a new compressor from DrumForge called DF-Comp 2. This week I wanted to actually pull up a session, dive into it, show you the plugin, how it works, what the controls are, and how I would personally go about using it. Full disclosure, a couple weeks before DF-Comp 2 came out, DrumForge did email me and ask me if I would be interested in testing out the plugin and potentially doing a video, which obviously I did. Afterwards, they did offer me a copy of the plugin, and I graciously accepted. However, all my opinions still remain mine, and all that good stuff. I genuinely really like this compressor. It sounds really good, and it's really fast to dial in, and you don't have to worry about a lot of the things, attack time, knee, release time, ratios. It's super simple. So without further ado, let's dive into a session and I will show you guys how I would go about using this. All right, so this session is a session I've used before. It's basically stems from my most recent song, The Serpent. If you guys haven't checked it out, you can check it out on all streaming services. Wherever you stream music, it's there. But what I've got some MIDI drums here. These MIDI drums are Crim drums from Bogren Digital. I've got some MIDI bass going on. This is Euro Bass 3. And then I've got some guitar DIs. So I'm going to show you how I would use DF-Comp 2. Let's start where most people start, with the kick, right? So this kick group consists of kick, kick sub, right over here, kick, kick sub, and kick trigger. Crim Drums gives you a trigger with its presets that you can use or not use. It was a really good sounding trigger. I would normally go in and EQ each one of those individually, but for the sake of time, we're just going to dive right into the group and check out the compressor. All right, so let's check out our compressor. Now, the neat thing about DF-Comp 2, the original had 5 different modes. This one has doubled. We've got 10 different modes, so this covers compression for everything you can want: kick, snare, toms, overheads, rooms, your drum bus, guitars, bass, vocals, master bus. Like, it is a all-in-one do-everything compressor. When you look at the controls, there's not these crazy readouts flashing and moving, right? It's very simple. So this is the compression in dBs. This is your threshold. This is your inner side chain in decibels here. You have a threshold knob, which adjusts, right, here. And then you have a compression knob, which is the amount of compression. And then you have 3 styles of compression. You have soft compression, medium compression, hard compression. And look at these as kind of like your knee of compression, right? Then you can do sidechain EQ. You can adjust this however you want and utilize it to just listen. Or you can use an external sidechain in Logic. That's up here. So if you could do the kick and bass thing, you could do your sidechain, your snare, and your guitars, that type deal. But regardless, let's dive in. Let's check this out. How I would dial in like some kick compression. All right, let's get some threshold. So I typically like the medium style compression. Medium is a really good blend to where you still get control, but you still get a lot of tone and you still have some dynamics. Hard would be more towards a limiter, right? And then, soft is soft. But I like the medium. See, I can really feel that. Now, the only thing you have to remember to do is bring your output back, because this is going to increase the output inversely to how much you compress it. Yeah. All right. So I like that a lot. All right, let's do the same thing with the snare, right? Let's dial the snare real quick. Let's bring up our compressor. Again, with Crim drums, you're going to have a snare top, a snare bottom, and a snare trigger. And I've just got all of them going to this snare group. I actually like that right there. Again, I prefer the medium setting here, but out the box, that sounds great there. So let's do some fader, volume adjusting here. You guys probably hear that ring just blaring at you, right? Crim drums has a very ringy snare. There it is. There, now it won't drive you crazy. All right, cool. So we got kick, snare. Let's check out some toms. Let's see how this sounds on toms, right? So we're going here. I know I got some toms. Yeah, here's a little tom section. Let's hit that. Cool. All right, let's go. Let's just check out tom 1. Boom. Cool. Typically, I would use like an SSL style compressor for this, but DF comp is great. Again, medium is what I prefer. I'll show you all three. See, and boom, just like that, I'm good. I think DF Comp is really good at bringing out the sustain of drums. As you can hear, like when I turn it off and on, the sustain of the drum is accentuated. I think that's really nice. All right, so again, tom 2, do the same thing. Super quick, guys, super quick. Go to tom mode. I like medium. All right, boom. I'm just trying to even out the output there. Maybe bring that down. Nice, very nice. All right, there's tom 3 in that little section too. Boom. This is so fast. Toms, medium. Nice. Beautiful. So quick. Nice. Boom. Beautiful. See how quick that is? All right. You guys get the idea. Super fast to dial in on drums, right? What about some other stuff? Let's check out bass. Let's check out some bass. I will typically use stages of compression in bass, right? So what I would typically do if I were mixing bass, I'll come in, I'll do a little bit of EQ. We're gonna do some cleanup. That right there. Get rid of that. Bring some of that up. Get rid of some of that. On that whistle. Boom. Boom. Just that quick, right? All right, so now we've evened that out. Let me get this compressor up. Boom. Straight to bass mode. I typically will look to 5 to 6 dB of compression in this particular stage, and I would do that before I put an amp sim on the bass, right? All right, so I would pull up, this is one of my favorite plugins, Bogren Digital's SCD bass knob. Listen, these are the fastest way to dial in tones. Watch this. So... just that quick. What I'll do with these is instead of adjusting the gain, it's got these little scratches here, and that's like the sweet spot. So I'll just adjust the input to where it sounds good, then adjust the output to something decent, and I'll roll from there. No big deal. And once you do that, I would do, you know, some more EQ, because now we got it going through an amp. Tighten up some of that. Boom, do a big cut like that. That big cut, it makes it sound like the bass isn't so much of a sine wave. Bass and drums. Beautiful. It's so fast. It's so fast. And then what you can do, typically I would end, when I got done with the bass, I would probably use like an L1. I would go ahead and limit it. But let's see what the hard setting on DF Comp sounds like. Let's go to bass, put it on hard. Let's pin it. Boom. Cool. All right, real quick, let's check out some guitars. I've got DIs rocking here. Now you could do the same thing. We could go in with a DF comp. Let's compress the DI a little bit so that the signal going into the amp sim is a little more even. Nice. That's quick and easy. Boom. So let's, hello. I'm trying to copy this over. There we go. Beautiful. That really kind of gets them held down a little bit. All right, now let's go. Boom. Let's pull it up again. This is probably one of my favorite Bogren plugins. When you talk about the amp knob series, this one right here, stellar. It's the 6606 here. Again, I will use the input and output knobs on these amp knobs and just leave the gain where it is because that's the sweet spot. Let's copy this over. All right, let's see what we're working with. Nice. All right, it's not sounding terrible, right? Boom, let's pop over to the rhythm guitar bus here. Boom, guitars. Nice. All right, cool. Yeah, so there you go. That's probably enough demonstrating how awesome this plugin is, how good it sounds on a myriad of sources, right? All right, so that's DF Comp 2. That's what it sounds like. That's how I would go about dialing things in with it. Again, a very, very useful processor, compressor. You can use it on anything, and it sounds good. If you guys like it and you're interested in picking it up, it's still on its introductory price. So you can grab this compressor for $39 from drumforge.com right now. So they've also got a 14-day free trial if you want to check it out before purchasing it. But I think it's a great sounding compressor, and I was very, very happy to add it to my arsenal. Again, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. There is a Linktree link in the description of this video that's going to take you to my social media. You can go to my Bandcamp, purchase music. You can purchase merchandise. From there, you can watch other videos. Obviously there's other videos, right? And there's also a affiliate link to Bogren Digital if you are interested in any Bogren Digital stuff. Right now their spring sale is going on, so they've got a lot of products that are upwards of 40% off, but you can utilize that link and it would help support me and the work that I'm doing here on the channel. And once the spring sale is over, I can hook you up with a little discount using the link too. So again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you next week in the next video. Thank you.